Today's video is going to be talking about the real life of rebuilding routines and structure and relearning and figuring out what showing up for yourself means for you. And if you're new here, I'll link the playlist for this video diary series up above, where we heal in real time with no judgment. So I am in week 1 of getting my rhythm back together again after injuring my foot a little over a month ago. I had fractured multiple bones in my right big toe and tore a tendon in my right ankle, all in one little stumble. And it took me 10 days, 4 different doctor's visits, and 3 times getting x-rays to find out what was wrong. So that took me off track for a little bit, but it wasn't really off track. It was getting me to where I need to be now, because I kept telling myself I wasn't gonna make it a blessing in disguise, or it wasn't gonna be a blessing in disguise unless I turned it into a blessing in disguise. So I took the time to work on myself internally and do what I've been avoiding. So here I am now. But anyways, today is week 1 of getting back into routine, getting back to class, starting to drive again, started physical therapy, and I've been filming and editing every single day and getting back into enjoying that, on top of still taking care of my animals and still showing up for myself. And let me tell you, it's not easy, and it's a lot of work and a lot of rewiring my brain, because I personally am not taking any psych meds anymore, and I am rewiring my brain and healing from the root cause of all my problems. That can be a whole other video, and I'm not saying what anyone else should do, but that's just what I'm going through, and I'm being honest and documenting what it's really feeling like to build the life that I want. I'm going to be talking about how today unfolded, what I struggled with, what I learned, and how I'm working on giving myself grace while still holding myself accountable to what I need to be doing. If you're also trying to rebuild your life and build better habits, or just trying to navigate the chaos of being human, and of course my cat wants to come in my room. So getting out of bed today took a lot of work. I couldn't sleep last night, so when I got up and had to go volunteer at the nursing home hair salon that I'll volunteer in sometimes, and it's the nursing home that my grandmother's in, so I get to see her too. And I did not want to get out of bed. I literally woke up and I opened ChatGPT and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get up. It would be so easy to just stay in the couch. But I got up, I got myself dressed, and I went, and I felt really good to feel fulfilled and to make a sort of difference in the world. After that, I went to physical therapy and had the chiropractor, and certain things kept making me really frustrated, making me like snap internally. But I'm really proud of myself for not reacting and reflecting on how I was feeling and moving through it, not let things that were frustrating me affect my mood, and work through what was going on in my head. Because we can't control the first thought that comes into our minds. Things are gonna frustrate us no matter what, but it's what we do when we get frustrated. Do we get frustrated with something and then move on, or do we get frustrated with something and then stay frustrated? And there's nothing wrong with getting irritated or frustrated and wanting to snap. Doesn't mean we're doing anything wrong. It's how we learn to handle our emotions and move on without doing so, and to not let things affect us, and realize that no matter what happens, everything is happening the way it's supposed to unfold. If I'm frustrated about something, what is this frustration trying to teach me? And then after I got home, I was out of the house for like 8 hours, and I had wanted to go home and work on cleaning my apartment some more, and YouTube, and work out today, but I didn't do much of that. I ended up resting for like an hour. I spent way too much time on Instagram. Then I played a Just Dance song, and it was way too much for my body because the driving I did and having physical therapy, my foot was not handling getting back into Just Dance right this very day. So I went back to laying on the couch and then had dinner, and then I ended up taking like a 2.5 hour nap. Got up from my nap around 8:30. It's 11:45 right now, and I did a few things I needed to do, but I didn't do like what I had originally wanted to do, and some of that isn't even my fault, not being able to do certain things I wanted to do, but learning to accept that you can't control the things you can't control. I guess this is what it is, and not push on perfectionism. An example for me with editing videos and stuff is teaching myself to not stress out over making this one video perfect. Make it good enough and then make more videos, so the baseline of like good enough, or like just good, make it good, not just good enough, make it good. It doesn't have to be amazing, it doesn't have to be the best, it doesn't have to be a big production, and then do it again and again and again, and it's eventually gonna get to the level of what you claim is perfect. And just really not punishing yourself for not being perfect, and not punishing yourself for the things you can't control. If you can learn to do those things, you're gonna start feeling so much happier because you're finally gonna feel free. But what I also did do today is I exported day one's video of this video diary series so I can work through editing the rest of them, because I've been so focused on making this first one perfect where I can get better and better as I go instead. And I did spend way too much time on my phone today, and my screen time today is about 9 hours, and about 2 hours of that is ChatGPT, and about 2 hours is YouTube. I'm surprised that Instagram isn't higher, because I spent about an hour of it is Instagram. Instagram would be number 2. But what I've been trying to do, every time I find myself doom scrolling on Instagram or YouTube Shorts or scrolling anywhere, I'll switch out the app to Pinterest, because I think it's so much more inspiring and a better place to be scrolling. And today I started organizing all my boards, because I've never actually done that, and that makes me want to actually better myself and do the things that make me happy, and try doing some arts and crafts and painting, even if I'm not that good at it the first time, or if people make fun of if it's not good, because it's doing something that is good for my brain and my life. I want to spend a lot less time online, so what better thing to replace it with than being creative? Because I always feel like when you're being creative, you're putting out into the world, but at the same time you're also putting back into yourself at the same time. And the 2.5 hour nap that I took today after dinner was super rare. I hardly ever nap during the day, and today I let myself nap, and that was also a huge win for me. I got up like after 40 minutes of napping, and I had felt like I napped for about 2 hours, and I thought about getting up and forcing myself to be busy, but I knew that my body wasn't ready to get up yet, so I just let myself. So today kept teaching me to remind myself that this is week 1. There are so many more weeks to come, to remind myself that I'm rebuilding from an injury and physical, emotional overwhelm after being sick, to like my body and my brain are still catching up, and not every day is gonna be super busy. Not every day is gonna be super productive. Not every day you're gonna have everything checked off the to-do list. Some days are just about giving back to yourself and letting yourself heal. Rome wasn't built in a day, and routines and habits take time, and I don't think a habit is going to become a habit by forcing yourself necessarily to do something, because I've never built long-term sustainable habits by forcing myself to do something every day. I've built the long-term habits that I do have by finding ways to implement them into my life that make me want to. So if you're still watching at this point, what I want us to take into tomorrow is that to remind you to live with grace and to be patient with yourself, and that when you're rebuilding your life, it's not a straight line. You don't just say you're gonna do something and then automatically do it. You have to put in the work every single day. You say you're gonna change your mindset. It's an everyday, multiple times a day thing. It's not just a one and done. You don't eat healthy one day and then all of a sudden healthy. You have to make the decision every single day to continue nourishing your body, and every week to grocery shop and do what you need to do, and to take care of those that are dependent on you. Like, I can't take care of my animals if I don't give in to myself. And that's something that you choose to do every single day, but not every day is going to be a sprint. Some days you limp through it, and some days you sleep through it, and some days you walk at a steadily pace, but they all count. And I keep telling myself that I am not going to live the life I dream of, moving across the country to California and being a content creator and a psychiatrist and a neuroscientist, by doing what I've been doing. So we can't live in the past either. And I believe in you, and I can't wait to see you back here tomorrow.